Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1904 of What You Have to Know, documenting the journey and sharing my personal experiences as I transitioned originally from the brick and mortar corporate world of business over a quarter century in corporate America while simultaneously owning, operating, building, supersizing businesses in at least 27 different businesses and industries before I came online. Since I came online, pretty much lost count the different types of businesses and industries I've worked in. But there's some I haven't. It's because, personal choice. Yeah, I'm never going to work in that industry. But every day, as part of that journey, I create a couple of pieces of content. I started probably 5, 6 years ago now doing an annual challenge. And I started doing it for myself to hold myself accountable to the things that I said that I wanted. And if I did something every day, I discovered a long, long time ago that if I did a little thing every day, to move me toward what I want, it was pretty easy to achieve the goals and objectives that I set for myself. So several years ago, when I wanted to come online, the first thing I did was I did an annual challenge to do one thing every day to stretch my comfort zone, to feel more comfortable doing things that didn't necessarily come naturally or feel comfortable to me. Then I did a year of do things that you love, do fun things, I can't remember all of them, but last year was the BU 365-day challenge to do one thing every day that continually improved us as human beings so we could become a better version of ourselves. This year, thank you to Chad Hannah, a person that I did a Facebook group, a whole group of us did, we went live every day for a year. That was simultaneous to my comfort zone annual challenge. So it was a perfect time to launch that and get practice speaking in front of groups. But he gave me the idea to work on goals this year. So this year's annual challenge is the Get Your Goals annual challenge, where we're doing one thing every day to get what you want. So this month we're focusing on, because I last year I set my annual challenge up to go and coincide with the 9 different areas and aspects of life in what I call the life, I don't call it, but what somebody's deemed the life framework, how we put frames and structures around our life to try to make sense of all the chaos. I don't know about you, but my life can be full of chaos and craziness. And so I like to have a framework that I can use to help me set my goals and objectives. Sorry about my alarm. And to make sense of it. So my personal framework, it was 7 areas I learned from Jim Rohn back in the days when he was one of my mentors, and then Tony Robbins following him because he worked for Jim Rohn. That's how long I've been working on personal development. You'd think I'd be done, right? Doesn't work that way. I believe that we are all a continually improving process for our entire lives. We always want to be becoming the better version of ourselves. Thus, last year's challenge. This year's challenge is just kind of a little part of us becoming a better version of ourselves, right? So this month we're focusing on spiritual goals, spiritual well-being, spiritual health, and how do we go about getting those. So our topic today to help us do that is show and tell. And mostly show, don't just talk about it and tell people you're going to do something. Actually do it. Do what you say you're going to do, demonstrate. And we talked about different ways that you can show and tell, and different ways to do that in our lives. We can I one I shared was I carry trinkets and little things around with me as reminders of my goals and objectives and things that I want in the world, right? I have like a little angel and a little heart stone in my purse and a whole bunch of other little things that I can't even remember what they all are, but this is like a little Bible I like to carry around. I we can demonstrate by setting the example. We don't just say that people should help other people or we should help other people. We actually volunteer and help other people in a way that feels good to us and honors our spiritual goals and objectives and beliefs for ourselves. We can do testimonials. We can share our story and do storytelling. We can find different ways to volunteer. We can produce educational content. We can write books and papers and pamphlets and spread the word of whatever it is that we believe to attract like-minded people to us, right? We could create our own community with respect to spiritual well-being and health, right? Nowadays, you can start a Facebook group or a Facebook page for free. Actually, been able to do that for years now. Or on other platforms as well. There's are literally thousands and thousands of platforms out there for different people with different interests. And I'm sure are those that coincide with your spiritual beliefs and what it is that you want to learn about, and the different modalities, different religions, different modalities, different spiritual beliefs, different doctrines, etc. So we can find content or we can create content, both from an educational standpoint. We could create courses about spiritual well-being and the things that we believe in. We can also create social media content. Everybody can have, anybody who has an internet connection or access to an internet connection and some kind of electronic device to connect to the internet has the ability to create a social media presence, and you can put whatever you want on your social media presence, unless of course it goes against the guidelines of a particular platform, and then they're going to kick you off or deplatform you or whatever they call it. And then we could have interactive experiences, right? Meaning we can have experiences that enhance our spirituality or our goal achievement, etc. We can go on retreats, we can go on journeys and travels and trips, and we can take courses and have coaches and mentors and groups and communities that we belong to that help us to enhance our spiritual beliefs and to explore different spiritual beliefs and goals to improve our spiritual health and well-being. But basically, the whole point of this topic today is, don't just talk about what you want to do. Make sure you're following it up with actual tangible action. Heck, we can just read books on things, and that's an actual action that follows up our interest in a certain area. And then, of course, our idiom for today was show and tell. Imagine that. Show and tell for Supersize Your Business goes very well along with the topic for today's challenge. And it is, remember, it's from the 1940s when kids used to, and did it in my lifetime, kindergarten, preschool. We never had preschool when I was that age, but kindergarten, we'd all go to kindergarten, and one day a week or so, we would have show and tell. So we all got to bring something in that was important to us, and then we got to tell the story about it or why it was important to us. That's an example, and that's where actually show and tell came from. It came from a child's learning experience, but guess what? It works for everything, especially with our businesses. People need to be shown and but not just shown and demonstrated. They need to be told by other people who have experienced our products and services in order to want to maybe experience them themselves. So we can use all these same tools and strategies and things as we grow and build and supersize our businesses as well. So that's it today. If I can help you in any way, ask. You can always reach me via Voxer at pajamagrandma@gmail.com. You can DM me on Facebook or on other social media platforms if you've got a question. Otherwise, just have an awesome day. And I'll, of course, be around just to pop in and share what I'm doing as I've made the transition, what I'm doing now, and just what's working, what's not working for me, to show and tell and demonstrate that some things work for some people that don't work for me. Some things work for me that don't work for other people. And that's the way the world works. We need to figure out who we are and what works for us in order to make the impact on the world that we want to. All right, have a great day, and I'll be with you tomorrow.